That Buffalo Sabres team is truly one of the worst teams of the last 30 years in the NHL.
You're not kidding. I talked to someone who was at that game. I said, I think now that I've just kind of tuned in for a period here and a period there and watched the results, they're one of the worst teams ever. And the response I got back was, no, they are.
I think Colorado was worse with 47 points that one year. And Colorado,
maybe noodles, but it's a conversation, and that says something. It is
a conversation. You're right, because you remember Colorado had 47 points.
They were terrible,
and you were like, "This is a gong show." But they had good players on that team, and it never came together. Buffalo is having the worst season, and I was reading their non-available people. Like we forget, like Jack Eichel's not even playing. Like there are two starting goalies, not even available. Like
what about the kid, Jamie? What about the kid? I watched that Dahlin in Buffalo, and I'm like, next Nick Lidstrom, here we go. Dominate from the back end, turn around the organization. He is so bad out there right now. He's ruining himself.
Wow,
he is so out of position and lost and no confidence. He's one of the worst defensemen in the league. He's supposed to be one of the best. How's that possible?
You know what's going to happen is a quality organization is going to scoop him up for pennies on the dollar, and he's going to get there. He's not going to be Hedman. He's not going to be Lidstrom. That ship has sailed. It's not going to happen.
Well, that's where the danger comes in for the organization, Hayes. What if you got a young kid like that who says, you know what, I'm out of here too, man.
But that's what I see happening, and I could see.
I would do it myself in a day and age where you can kind of say that now. It's more common to say, like, actually, I'm out of here too. I wouldn't be shocked if Dahlin goes, you know what, I need to get the hell out of here or my career is going to be ruined.
To save my career.
Yes.
Absolutely. And I would put money on it. In 5 years, I'll bet you he's a player. He may not be a superstar, but I could see there's too much talent there. Someone's got to teach him the game. Someone's got to help him. He's got to be protected a little bit. But I wouldn't sell him down the river if I was Buffalo, but I don't have any faith in anything they're doing.
The problem I have with that statement that you just made is it's the NHL. How do they not have a guy there to help them play good?
Clearly they don't.
Christ's sakes, it's not the East Coast League.
I know, but it sounds like Kevin Adams is short-staffed. Sounds like they have a system there. Like, you mean, you go and get the soccer guy, Ralph Kruger, and bring him back because he's really nice and writes books and he's really brilliant and, very analytical and all of that. But what you need is game changers. You need a manager at the top who has a wealth of experience, kind of like what the Leafs did. The Leafs went and got Shanny, and then they went and got a Hall of Fame general manager in Lou Lamoriello to reset the organization.
I hear you, but it's too late now. I don't think it's going to happen.
I'm just saying, and then they went and got, regardless if you like him or not, they went and got a coach that had a tight system and that held people accountable. And then once the organization was shaped the way you liked it, you moved away from Lou, you moved away from Babcock, and the keys to the car were handed to
You're preaching to the
Kyle.
choir here, but right. I don't see it happening in Buffalo. And they've traded Eric Stahl today, which is not the end of the world for them. He's 36 years old. He's at the end of the career. They got a third and a fifth. Could they have gotten more closer to the trade deadline? Potentially.
No, they couldn't have. Are you
He's
kidding
not doing much, just like everyone else on that team.
No.
Exactly, and I get it. What I thought was somewhat humorous last night was Taylor Hall did not even hum or haw when he was posed the question, would you be willing to accept the trade? Like, it wasn't even one of the, hey, I love the boys, I don't know, I'll leave that for my agent.
Dude,
it was
what
basically,
else is he supposed to say?
I'm saying, generally speaking, you would hear a cliche. I think historically, you would hear a cliche there. Taylor Hall basically said, please, I don't care if it's in the KHL, get me out of here. Like, trade me to the East Coast Hockey League, trade me to, I don't care where it has to be, get me out of Buffalo. I couldn't think of a worse situation in the NHL. It's an absolute disaster.
That's the challenge of the organization, to find 23 guys next year that actually want to be there and play there. Because it doesn't look like one guy wants to play for that team. It's one of the worst teams I've ever seen.
Here's why you're 100% right. Every other organization that is near, we'll say, the bottom of the standings, at least has a plan in place. Detroit, Stevie Yzerman, he's going traditional rebuild. Ottawa has a plan in place. They bottomed out. They've got some kids coming. They've got draft picks. Like, there's a plan in place. What's the plan in Buffalo? Now, full disclosure, I thought the moves they made in the offseason, on paper, they look pretty good. But doesn't matter how you look on paper. It's how you play. And everything that has been touched in Buffalo has been a disaster this year. They've COVID, they've been shut down, and players have been – Jeff Skinner, I thought this guy was going to have a rebound year.
What about all the people they fired? They fired about 50 people in ops and scouts and everything.
Didn't handle that well either.
It all gets back to the top. But
it goes to
in
the top.
terms of Eric
Jerry
Staal,
Pagula.